First prize in the adult category of the Elmbridge Literary Competition 2013 is A Fortnight in September by Heather Matthew.
I want to finish by thanking you for your hospitality. As you know, I have a special fondness for Kingston Rowing Club. Over 40 years ago, this is where it all began, standing in the wings of the gables, listening to lines I'd written in my sitting room and watching them come to life. While the actors basked in the bright lights of the stage, I'd been caught by the magic lurking in the dark corners behind the scenes, and it has never left me. Once you've tasted the joy and excitement of writing, you can never give it up, be it Hollywood or Cricklewood, a performance in the jungle or on a battleship, the silver screen or the army canteen. Words have the power to transform, and I am intoxicated by them.
I'm glad that's over. That scene by the duck pond was leaving me breathless. All that blowing on the reed whilst I was whispering sweet nothings. Me lungs ain't what they used to be.
Have you heard what's in next?
No, you?
Well, my mate from Incorporated Stage was doing the lighting for it. It doesn't sound very promising. Some army chaps in the front line dugout just before the final push. No love interest, no musical numbers, definitely no laughs.
No leading lady?
Not a single woman in the cast.
Any ducks?
Can we make a start, gentlemen? I know we are all sorry that Lawrence is not available for the transfer, but I'm delighted to introduce Colin Clive, who will play the part of Stanhope. In 2 weeks, we open. 2 weeks, gentlemen, to do justice to the unflinching heroics of those that served and those that were left behind. These men are our sons and fathers, unrelenting in their fervour for king and country, unremitting in their sacrifice. These men will be our audience, their wives and loved ones seeing their experiences through the lives of the characters we create. I think it is Osborne that says, "There's something deep and rather fine about hero worship." It's our job to create the altar. To work, gentlemen. Stanhope, can we start from your line, "Has Hardy gone?"
Give us a hand with this, lad. Johnny's gone sick and they need to start dressing the set today. Let's start with these bags of peat. I'll take them off the list and you can start shifting them onto the stage.
Why me?
'Cause I saw what was coming and grabbed the pencil first. Lest in life, Frederick, always anticipate, and you'll be first to the bacon.
Bacon? We're having bacon?
Stone water jar, tick. Whiskey bottle, tick. Picture of hollyhock, tick. Copy of Alice in Wonderland. A war play, you say?
The time has come, the walrus said, to talk of many things, of shoes and ships, and sealing wax, and cabbages and kings.
Is that whiskey bottle empty? Ah, this is more like it. A photograph of a pretty girl. Give us a gander.
What was that you were saying about the bacon? If you want it, come and get it.
All right, soft lad. There was only ever one for me anyway. Mary Louise, all lace and dimples and a smile like sunrise. No need for candles in the dugout when she was out of me pocket.
Isn't your wife's name Sybil?
Bully beef tins, tick. Newspapers, tick. Khaki handkerchief, tick.
Thanks for dropping in the Sam Brown, RC. It looks like the tunic might fit as well. Olivia and Colin are about the same build.
Think of it as a lucky talisman. It was for me. It saved me from the monotony of clerking, perched on my stool high above a sea of ever-encroaching filing, swimming with the tide on the morning train, a flotsam of bowler hats, newspapers unfurled like flags to our surrender. That tunic was my life raft.
You make it sound romantic. There was nothing romantic about Holzminden. Those set designs and one-act plays I showed you, courtesy of Bosch Hospitality after I was captured at Flanders.
But would we be here if we hadn't enlisted? Stanhope and Trotter, Rawley and Osborne, they all walked in without invitation. I'd marched with them along country lanes, our voices rising with the skylarks, our boots beating time with the band. I smelt the candle grease and fug of unwashed men. I laughed at Mason's jokes and drank his awful tea. I looked out across the trenches as the horizon exploded. I had no choice. The pen was theirs.
Minnie who?
Why, it's not bleeding Minnie Ha-Ha! Ha-ha! You're wet behind the ears, lad. Didn't your dad ever tell you? Not Minnie who? Minnie what? Pass us your mug.
Minnie what?
Minnie Werther, that's what. A big, mean Jerry gun that thumped and pummeled at us day and night. You can have that sandwich. Sybil made extra.
I was 7 when Dad...
I know, I should have remembered. All this talk of Lewis guns and Very lights makes me think that everyone knows what went on. I suppose that was what it was all about. A periscope over the trenches.
Fairy lights.
It wasn't a bloody party, son. 3 years in the mud and the stench and the misery. The squeaking thrum of rats for company. The stench of stale food. The weight of waiting almost suffocating you. Lunch break over. We've got 8 days to get these Sound of X right, and no one has a bleeding clue how we're going to do it. Into the breach, my boy. Into that dugout.
Has anyone tested that ladder? It's got to hold the weight of 2 men, remember?
It would rather ruin the moment if they both end up in a heap on the floor.
Good to see you, RC. Been on your rounds today?
Shepperton, Teddington ended up in Brentford. I got stuck in a sweet shop as the school bell rung. I wonder if Sun Insurance sells cover for its outdoor men. I was lucky to get out alive.
I expect the fog was snapping at your heels all the way back to the Savoy. Not so good for the King's lungs, I fear. The papers report no improvement, and the mood seems very sombre.
Let's hope he's better for opening night. Good news always brings well-disposed audiences. Did I tell you I wrote to George Bernard Shaw? My agent said it was essential to get his approval if it had any chance of success. Not that him describing it as a slice of horribly abnormal life was quite what we'd hoped for.
How do you want the audience to see it?
Commonplace men in uncommon circumstances. Their drama played out in the fields of France, clawing for soil that is not their own, unquestioning in their duty, yet terrified of their destiny.
Sounds like Shaw got it right. And you too. What surprises me is amongst all the drawn-out wretchedness, there are flashes of pure exultation.
It felt like we were the chosen ones, somehow made whole by the chance to do the right thing.
In Flanders fields the poppies blow, between the crosses row on row. Do you call that sacrifice or surrender?
I call it heroism. Each gold stripe of my captain's insignia marks the lines they've furrowed and planted with liberty. I don't want people to forget.
All roads lead to journey's end, RC, I promise. Now, back to work. I've got the whole of Act 3 to reset, now we've had to recite the dugout stage left. Mason, are you out there? Good. If we could start from, I'd have rather an unpleasant surprise, with Mason making room for Raleigh as he comes in from the right.